Alright guys, today we're gonna be reacting to most eat German food, the ultimate German food tour. Now that's a huge statement. We already have, or we reacted to a couple folks already, showing a lot of the German food, man, how incredible it is. But that's a huge statement. She probably have a lot of confidence herself. So let's see. Let's jump in.
Camera is Alex, and today we want to show you some of the foods that you have to try when visiting Germany.
For us, travel isn't only about seeing new places, but also about having new experiences. In this video, we hope to encourage you to try something new and to experience some of the delicious cuisine Germany has to offer.
Guys, we're back in Germany.
Wow, look at that church. My God. Isn't that crazy? Look at that church. Wow.
I can't believe it, and we are so excited to be bringing you along on another series around Europe. We're making our way down to Italy. In the last series we had such a blast on our trip around Bavaria, so we had to include Germany on our list of places this time. So we are here in Cologne, and as it turns out there's more to German food than just sausages. So today we're going to eat our way around this beautiful city. But first, make sure you leave in the comments what's your favourite German food, or what German food would you like to try?
I'm that French fry with the hot dogs thing. I'm looking forward to that.
I have subconsciously been training for this moment for about the last 10 years. Since
it's like a pork leg, right?
in my 20s, I've been getting fatter and fatter every year, and now I've come to realize it's so my stomach would expand to fit this inside it. This is the pork knuckle, which is a popular dish here in Germany and especially in Bavaria. I had to get it just for the comically sized dinosaur bone that you would see in the Flintstone. I can't tell you the smells that are coming out of this, but it's out.
You have to fast at least 16 to 20 hours. You have to eat that because that's big, man.
Outrageous. I have been addicted to German food since our last German series, and I went crazy for sausages. I wanted them everywhere. It's taken every inch of willpower to not get sausages and get something else, and I've still gone for pork. I've gone for the biggest bit of pork that's ever existed. Traditionally this was peasant food because it's an inexpensive cut of meat, which they would marinate over a number of days and then...
Really inexpensive, man? That thing looks expensive, bro. Like, what are you talking about, man?
Slow cook it over a number of hours. It comes on a bed of mashed potato with sauerkraut. Where do you start with this? It sounds very salty. It looks perfect.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Ridiculously good. It's as good as it looks, which is a massive compliment because it looks amazing. Germany has to be one of the best places for meat eaters. I have talked in the past about Turkey being a great place, America's a great place for meat eaters. Germany is well on your list.
But Germany is not just for meat eaters. There is plenty to choose for vegetarians also. I have gone for a traditional German noodle dish called Käsespätzle. It's essentially a German version of mac and cheese. You have noodles covered in cheese, and in this case also covered in onions.
It is kind of mac and cheese. It looks very mac and cheese. I don't like mac and cheese. I think that's the only dish that I'm not a fan of. It's just ugh.
With a side salad, not important. What we're here for is the cheesy nudes.
That looks good, actually. Wow.
That's really nice. The gravy and the onions on top give it a really savory, salty taste. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's definitely not healthy. It doesn't taste healthy in the slightest.
Well, inside the scheme of things, it is a healthy food because it's very fresh. It looks fresh, and also it's not fast food. So inside the standards, it is kind of nice.
But actually,
his plate with that pork knuckle, that is unhealthy.
the thing that I find with mac and cheese at home is it can be a bit too sickly. This doesn't taste like it's going to be too sickly because the cheese isn't an overpowering cheese taste. I think they usually use a mixture of cheeses, but usually stuff like Gouda, which is quite mild. This is delicious.
Wow. Loganbro corn. Wolfish. hotel. That was beautiful. Wow, look at that. Wow.
You're right there, Al.
I'm dying. That's not a normal amount of food to put in your body.
Just walk it out and you will be fine.
I didn't even get like halfway through the meat. I've got it to take home with me. This is just the first meal. But we need to have the value of the best food to eat in Germany. So we must power on. Just give me a minute.
Yeah.
I'm now ready for round 2, and the next thing to do has to be a beer garden. These things are all over Germany, and it's where you're going to get your snacks. I need a bit more time to create some more space for another big meal. So for now, the next thing that you need to try, I've never tried this before, so it's also the thing that I need to try, is Met or Metbrocken, which is basically raw pork, yes, raw pork with bread. It also has raw onion on top. I'm pretty excited.
A lot of vitamin 12 there, man. That's good.
Excited about basically all German food, and this is one that doesn't really excite me. Just the raw pork aspect.
Yep.
Raw everything.
But here they serve it
The
in
onions and the green onions will help you.
a lot of the beer garden, so I've got to test it out.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Not bad, right?
Germany, you've done it again. It's amazing.
Really?
I think inside it's just got maybe some spices, some salt and pepper. It doesn't taste raw. It's hard to explain. It just kind of tastes sausagey and nice and porky.
Is it like a pate?
Yeah, that's a good way to say it. It's just kind of like a pork pate. I think that they have specific ways of serving this so you don't get sick. So it has to be eaten on the day of being served. But I can say that I'm pleasantly surprised, and you definitely have to try this when you come here.
I'm shocked.
And then wash it down with a local beer.
That's a nice clear beer.
Ah, the Germans, you've nailed it.
I am super excited to try this. What I have ordered is Kartoffelpuffer.
Man, that looks really good, bro. Whatever the hell is that? That looks nice. Oh man, I just ate. I'm so hungry. That's crazy, huh?
Which is essentially potato rosties, served with different things depending on what you're going for. One of the more traditional ways to have it is actually with apple sauce, which is not what I would think initially that you would team with potato rosties. So I'm really intrigued to try it. If you watched our last series when we were in Bavaria, we actually cooked up some of these to have with a breakfast, kind of in place of like a hash brown or a potato rosti. And it worked really well, although it's not the traditional way.
You know what's crazy? That looks so American, man. Just to have that kind of breakfast. So American. The mashed potato and the sausage and the eggs. Very, very American. You know, I go to diners every weekend, so I love my Midwestern breakfast. It looks very similar
To have it. So today I thought I'd go a little bit more traditional, and I try it with apple sauce. It's so crispy and crunchy. Oh, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's just... Listen to that. There's a lot of oil there. So, oh my goodness. So essentially it's like potato, and then maybe to bind it I think there's flour, maybe eggs also. But essentially it's just potato, that's all it is. Okay, and so this is the apple sauce. It's actually got really big chunks of apple in there.
You mix it up.
Initially you have all of this really crunchy, crispy corn a bit, and then underneath that you have this kind of salty, smooth potato bit on the inside with the sweetness from the apple. Surprisingly good. I can't decide which I prefer, with the apple sauce or savory. I think they're equally as good, but just for different times. This is definitely a must try in Germany. The summertime is the wasps. They are relentless and they're everywhere. They'll hover around your food, your beers, and especially, as we've just found out, the bakery. In Europe, if you're not going to the bakeries, you're doing something really wrong. Germany is no exception. There are so many things to choose from. It can be quite overwhelming.
Those are bees or wasps? It looks more like bees.
I actually went inside this bakery to get a pretzel, but I thought, why not try something completely new and something that I've seen everywhere here in Cologne especially. They're called nugget pretzels, and I actually don't think this is bread. I believe it's pastry twisted to look like a pretzel, which is covered in nugget and or nougat, I don't know how you pronounce that, and slices of almond. I really have no idea what to expect, but there are hundreds of them hanging inside the bakery, so they must be popular.
That looks like it tastes very good. Yep.
Even with all that wasp juice?
I think the wasp juice is what gives it its delicious flavour. Well, I can see why the wasps like it. It's incredible.
This is now my final meal of the day, and I'm going to be honest, I am struggling. So one of my little tips for anyone that needs a second win is to get a Coke or a fizzy drink of your choice. Other brands are available.
Yeah, make it easy, right? To the stomach. Yeah.
Now what you do is it's nice and fizzy.
Mm-hmm. Burp.
It should bubble up inside you.
Yep.
You have a little burp, and it frees up loads of space, and now I'm ready for what is the final meal. This is the world famous Schnitzel. If you've lived under a rock and you're like, what the hell is a Schnitzel? It's basically a piece of meat that has been pounded into the inch of its life and then covered in breadcrumbs and then fried. There is a bit of debate where this originally came from, but there is no debate that this is a very, very popular dish here in Germany. And it's the dish that was most recommended to me on our previous series in Germany. Very excited to try this. Can't believe I never have, considering it's just meat and breadcrumbs. This sounds right up my alley. I've gone for a pork one with a mushroom sauce, which apparently the Germans love drizzling it on them. So, when in Rome... Does that look as bad as it looks to me?
Yes.
I mean, I could do it in a nice sexy way, but I think it's more funny to just let it, like, plop out. And then one more, ready?
I know what he's trying to say, but it doesn't look that bad to me.
Plop. I already know that I'm going to love this. I just don't know how much I'm going to love it.
So your third pork dish today?
I've had a lot of pork, and not with no sausages, which for me is a miracle. I love it, obviously. In terms of the meals I had today, worst one of the day.
Oh my goodness.
Which I am surprised about. It's a little bit dry.
Really?
But I think that's the restaurant I'm at, not necessarily the meal. But I still love it. I don't care about that.
But that's why you had the little sauce, the gravy. And that way you can, mix it up a little bit and it's juicy. It might be the dish itself is like that.
The mushroom sauce is great as well, and there's a lot of choices for different types of ones. I went for mushrooms, but there is plenty for you to enjoy.
Our final food on today's gastronomy tour of Germany is Flam Kutchen, which is essentially a flatbread or pizza style food. It's traditionally, rather than tomato base like the Italians would do it, it's covered in a creme fraiche base, and the traditional one is served with bacon and onions, but I've gone for a mushroom and onion version as I'm vegetarian. It's really thin on the base. I don't know if you can see quite how thin that is, but I think this is going to be a pretty epic beer garden snack because it doesn't look too stodgy. It doesn't look like it's going to fill me up too much, but it looks pretty tasty.
And you ate a lot. Wow, so you probably have a very high metabolism.
This is an epic beer garden snack. This base here is so thin and crispy and light. That's not going to fill me up at all, which is good because the beers certainly are. The toppings are actually really thin. They haven't gone overboard with them or anything like that, so it's not too overpowering. It's light, it's tasty, perfect to have with a lovely German beer.
I need a C-section because this food baby is coming out stat.
I am so full, but that was a pretty epic day.
That was pretty amazing. That was more calories than... well, that's not more calories than I consumed in a day. I've done that before many times.
What was your favourite thing?
Okay, it wasn't even on the menu today. Sausages is still the number one thing I've had in Germany. Pork knuckle second. Schnitzel way down at the bottom compared to everything. sausages is the must.
Which is
must
funny
have.
because actually today at the beginning of the day, Schnitzel was the thing you were most excited to try. Disappointing.
That's how it goes.
Man,
Whereas I was
excited,
pleasantly
man.
surprised by the baked goods that we got at the bakery. I was not
excited.
expecting that, and it was lovely.
So leave in the comments, what food would you have most liked to try from today's food?
And what did we miss out? What German foods did we miss from this list that need to be tried?
So aggressively put that in the comments, tell us how wrong and how crazy it was we didn't try anything. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time, and beans out!
Next.
Hey, nice job, man. Nice video, man. Oh, that pork knuckle. I like pork feet. I love them. You make it pork feet. The way that we do is we boil them. We seasoning and everything, and we eat them like a soup. My God, that's good, man. I love pork, especially pork feet. I love it, and the way that my mom used to cook them. Oh my God, best thing ever. I like pork meat, but I can get tired very quick. Very quick. I'm talking about 1 or 2 bites, and I'm already like, oh man. And I like meat. I love a lot of meat. But just something about it that I'm like, man, I'm excited, y'all. You guys have no idea. I'm excited, man. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And as always, guys, I'll see you in the next one.